Howdy Makers Church, this is Testimony Tuesday. I'm Pastor Glenn.
And I'm Mark, and it's our huge privilege this week to welcome Gail Gipson to chat with us. Hi, Gail. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, and we're going to be hearing today just about Gail's incredible love and gift for music, and also about her courageous battle with cancer and how she's just been such an incredible fighter and has just never, ever given up. So we're going to be just hearing about that today.
That's right, Mark. Gail, for many years, has been a leader in the music ministry at North Park Baptist Church, and it has been my privilege to be her pastor. And as such, I've gotten to see what she's really like behind the scenes. And let me tell you, she is one phenomenal woman, as we will see today. So let's get started. Gail, talk to us. Who are you? Where did you come from?
Well, I was born in Fort Knox, Kentucky. My dad was in the Army. I was raised in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I graduated from Booker T. Washington High School. I had a scholarship, so I went to Oklahoma State University, where I met my husband, and then moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico. All my children were born there. I was there for 12 years. And then I moved to San Diego, California, where I reside now and forever.
And going back to those early years, you grew up in the church, right? And you're involved in music from an early days, and all your family is really musically gifted, right?
Yes. I grew up in Wesley Methodist Church, and my family, we were part of the youth choir, my sister, my cousins, and we were just a family choir. My cousin, who was 3 days older than me, and we were always the ones who got in trouble. He played phenomenal piano and French horn. He actually played for Natalie Cole.
Wow.
Yeah. And my older cousin, Brenda, was a phenomenal singer, had a beautiful voice. And my sister was also a pianist and organist and singer. And everyone is still involved with the church. My cousin Darwin is a music minister. I think he has a couple of churches he plays for in Tulsa. Brenda is a singer, and she moved to Tulsa. Carol lives in Oklahoma City, and she plays organ and piano for her church.
What a family.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Gail, you said that you moved from Chicago to Albuquerque. Now, as an engineer, I'm familiar with some of these places that you worked with. Tell us a little bit about that. Some pretty amazing high-level laboratories.
In Chicago, I worked for the Psychiatric Institute. That was my first job, and it was a place where defendants were referred to get examined because I guess they were kind of loony. And then I worked for the administrative office of the Illinois Supreme Court, and that was a fun job. I got to meet all of the judges, and we always hosted their dinners, and it was a cushy job. And we moved back to Albuquerque, and I worked for some attorneys, and I worked for Schaefer, Button, Bear. They did a lot of work for people that were injured. And then I went to work for another. And one of the
I'm sorry, say that again. You worked at Los Alamos?
Well, I hadn't gotten there yet.
Okay, you had cut
another
down.
law firm. Another law firm that did criminal and civil law. Then I went to work for Sandia National Laboratories, and they did all of the underground testing of nuclear weapons. So that was an interesting job.
Yeah, I'm totally familiar with Sandia. Most technical people would be.
Yeah, and so I supported the guys that did that. And every year I would get a boondoggle trip to Mercury, Nevada, where we actually would, when the secretaries would go on vacation, I would go there and the guys would give me a tour. Mercury was like a little city in itself. So I got to see the control room where they pushed the button.
Wow.
And then I would get to go to Los Alamos National Labs to support the secretaries there when they went on vacation. And the first thing they did when I got off the plane was take me to all the wineries. So that was interesting.
Great. Now, tell us something. At this point, family, how many kids, married at this point?
Yeah, I had kids, and I was,
okay.
And
then you found your way to San Diego, and then you go back to school.
Yes. Yes.
What did you study at UCSD?
At UCSD, I got a degree in communication and a minor in music. My boss was sweet enough to let me attend school. And so after that, I went to, I started playing piano for University Avenue Baptist Church, and then to Christian Fellowship Church. And then I made my way to North Park Church and been ever since.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And was it also roundabout now that you first connected with the Martin Luther King Jr. Choir?
Well, I actually sang with them when I was in college.
Yeah, okay.
And that was interesting. That was interesting. And the directors were interesting too.
Interesting.
That's where I met Arnetta. And we got the giggles just watching the directors. It was like a competition between the directors as to who could, make the moves and, be more magical.
So Arnetta was a choir director, right? And a good friend?
When I went to Christian Fellowship, she directed the choir. So they did for the children's choir and the youth choir.
Great.
And then I made my way to North Park Baptist Church.
That's wonderful. So at this point, you're working at UCSD and your life is about to radically change. You got diagnosed with cancer. So tell us how that came about.
In 2003, I attended informational luncheon, and there were cards on the table to get the mammograms, and I just picked it up. And I said, well, I'll do this. And I got a call from Linda Olson, who was a radiologist, and we were friends. And she said, Gail, you've been diagnosed with DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ. And she said, you should go to the doctor. So I went to my doctor and it was confirmed, and he recommended a mastectomy. So I got a mastectomy, and then it came back in 2005, and another doctor said, yeah, it's more cancer. And so I got more surgery, and at that time I got chemo and radiation. And when I was at UCSD, I think I got more radiation in 2008. And I was put on another cancer drug for Mara.
And there's quite a family history, wasn't there, of breast cancer?
Yeah, my sister and my mother. My mother got cancer after I did. She impacted me. So yeah, it was a family history because my aunt died of breast cancer, my father's sister. So then in 2013, I was at work and things went south. Cancer had come back, and one of the doctors you know, they weren't sure whether it was cancer or what. So he asked me all the questions that you ask a stroke victim.
So what happened? Did you collapse, or what happened there? Or you weren't able to talk, or?
No, things were just crazy. I couldn't find my phone.
Hmm.
My boss had asked me something, and I must have talked crazy to her. She said, well, when you find the answers, come let me know. And then after Dr. Bailey asked me all the questions you give a stroke victim, I answered them all, but something was still wrong. And he said, well, why don't you come down and lay on the dean's sofa? And I said, sure, okay, I'll do that. And that was it. That was all I knew until Diyah came. And I remember her saying, I love you, Mom. I love you, Diyah. But she said I was slurring my words. He took me to Thornton Hospital. And practically that's all I remember. But I told Diyah I was having a series of cognitive seizures. And, he could, you know, when the blip went on, he could see, you know, all the seizures I was having. He could see she's having a seizure here, she's having a seizure there. And I don't remember anything for almost a week.
Wow, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
And this was because they had discovered just a dark mass, a tumor just actually on your brain.
Well, they discovered I had a tumor on my brain. I had a tumor on my lung and a tumor on my liver. So they prepared me for surgery for the brain, and they removed the tumor there. So I have a little metal plate and some screws in my skull. My sister came out, my parents couldn't come out, but she came out, and I remember her saying, because I was left, and I was trying to feel it, and I remember her saying, "Get your hand down," just like an older sister would. I did.
Well, I remember how terrifying that was, and there was this. Anytime you have brain surgery, there was this concern about the loss of motor skills, and we were just praying, can you be, or wondering, can you even play the piano anymore? But afterwards, I mean, what did you worry about that or not, or?
Yeah, I did, and I had a little neuropathy in my left hand, and I still do a little than it was before, but I'm determined.
Well, yeah, you were able to play great. I mean, from my perspective, it was fantastic. So we were just rejoicing in that. But then you said you also had other friends that had cancer, and you've outlived them all. What kind of feelings does that have? You've talked to me in the past about how you felt about that.
I lost a couple of friends, close friends, to cancer. And what happens, you always think, am I next? Or what's going to happen with me? Because it makes you worry, and it really makes you think about your own mortality.
Yes.
But I'm a fighter.
That's an understatement.
Yes, that's definitely the understatement of the year.
So I don't think about it much because, it is what it is. And I just go on with my life and, just take it from there.
And I know that even in the midst of all of this that you were facing on the health front, you were still just really, really involved in leading worship at North Park. And then you also started a group called Brown Sugar Blues.
Brown Sugar Blues.
Yes. Glenn's got a picture there, Brown Sugar Blues. And I think, so that's the crew. That's Brown Sugar Blues there. And somehow Robert Johnson and I got to be a part of that.
Yeah, you're not brown.
Yes.
And the blues, because they had blue eyes. That's how we called it, Brown Sugar Blues.
So as two extremely white people, and we got to be a part of Brown Sugar Blues. That was an incredible. So tell us who is Blues and what do they do, Gail?
Well, I knew the manager of the faculty club at UCSD. And so they were planning to have happy hours for the faculty and, you know, whoever else wanted to come. So he said, can you play piano or play some music? And I said, sure. I said, I have a singer or two. Can she come? He said, sure. And so then I said, well, I have a few singers. And he said, sure. And then we incorporated Robert as the bass player and Mark as the congos. And so we're thinking of a name, and Kiana came up with the name Brown Sugar Blues. All like brown sugar, and Mark and Robert, white guys, had the blue eyes. So that's how we called it Brown Sugar Blues.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were just fantastic together. We all got along, we melded, and we got several other jobs. We played at the School of Pharmacy for the retirement parties, for the students, graduation parties. And then we played at a couple of the dean's houses. One of them lived in Del Mar, and he had this huge tree, and an owl had put a rabbit up that tree. And so there's this rabbit hanging from the tree, and I'm like, wow. And at another dean's house in Kensington, and it was kind of tight. We had this stage, but we made it work. And then he got up there and wanted to sing. So he started singing, and he was singing to Stephanie. I can't remember the song he was singing, but he was really into it. So that was fun. That was interesting.
We certainly squeezed into all kinds of really tiny spaces sometimes, you know, from coffee shops to back gardens and everything.
Yeah. And the coffee shop was really tiny.
Yeah, yeah. And the repertoire was really interesting, Gail, wasn't it? Because really it was very broad. I mean, it was everything from Billie Holiday, Aretha Franklin, to Adele, to
gospel.
Gospel, just everything across the board. And I think that was one of the really unique things, because when we were in a place like the faculty club, you know, doing sort of happy hour at the faculty club, you know, you could be doing an Aretha Franklin song one second, you know, and then a gospel song the next. So I think the mix was just really, really diverse and unique, I think.
And it was. I remember one lady coming up to me and telling me that she really liked one of the gospel songs because she liked it. And she says, I appreciate you guys doing that, singing that. Like variety of music. And it was fun.
Yeah, I think one of the things that also it illustrated applies to your ministry in the church too, is that you have this incredible gift for drawing gifts out of people, drawing things out of people that they don't think they can really do, or
like you.
Yeah, well, I mean, even a really bizarre example in Brown Sugar Blues, somehow you got me to channel my inner Ray Charles to do Hit the Road Jack, you know, with the four, you know, ladies singing. How you managed to get me to do that, I have no idea. But that's...
And you had such ad-lib. Your ad-lib was wonderful.
Yeah, but I think that's a thing too in the church ministry. I think you're incredible at that, being able to, you hear things that maybe are not immediately apparent. You see gifts in people, and you're just able to draw that potential out of people. So have you kind of always been able to do that? How do you do that?
Well, I just hear music and songs, and I think, that'll be good for Mark. That'll be good for Kiana. Or Stephanie can. And they may think they can't do it, but I know they can. I think even Glenn.
Yeah. But my kids, you know, this is to Gail's just a testimony is that she has taken people that have no training whatsoever. My kids are small, and she just brought the best out of them, and they can do what they can do musically today because of her. And we've had people that I thought there's no way this person can sing, and she was able to get them to sing. It was great. And I think you said, they couldn't carry a note in a bucket, but you got them to. And not only that, Gail, you were able to, I shouldn't say this, there's a lot of egos involved with a worship team and the people, trying to posture and stuff like that. And you were always able to keep no riots broke out. At least I didn't know of them, but you have such a calming gift of being able to put people where they should be. How do you do that? How do you do that?
Because I always tell them I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha of this choir. They just let their egos go.
Yeah. That's really important.
But
it seems you have incredible patience to work with people. I've seen this over the years, and just all the different things. Even you're working with people that were singing at the opera. I think you were bringing them in for training and stuff like. Your patience is beyond my understanding. I would just give up. So.
Well, because I love music.
Mm-hmm.
And I love all genres of music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love gospel, I love jazz, I love, I love classical.
I think that's too one of the things, as we were talking, just the way that some things combine here, that ability that you've had somehow to never give up with this battle against cancer, and always you've kept fighting. And I think you also never give up with wanting to draw those gifts out of people too, and just really encourage that, and I think that's phenomenal. So, and I know we had some questions, Glenn, didn't we, just about, what would you say to those listening, Gail, who may be battling with some kind of illnesses, whether it's cancer or others? What are the things that have enabled you just to be able to fight that, the battle that you've been fighting?
I would say never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, I was asking Diyah, did we have a support group for people with cancer?
Mm.
I don't know if we do, but if we don't, I would like to start for people with cancer.
Yeah, Gail, there have been, just in the last month, several people that have been diagnosed with cancer. So that would be great.
Yeah. And I know that you've spoken just about just the support that you've experienced, from friends. There's a Facebook support group as well. And it was interesting, because I was thinking about Stephanie's sermon the other week about the 4 friends who brought their sick friend, lowered him down through the roof, to meet Jesus. I know that you've experienced that in profound ways, those friends, that community of friends that have supported you.
Yes, the church has supported me greatly. My sister's church, my parents' church, and that gives me a reason to fight. Plus the support group I have on Facebook, Women with Metastatic Breast Cancer, Women with Cancer. It's just phenomenal. Women with metastatic breast cancer. They talk about it. We talk about all of the different treatments we're taking, all of the different kind of drugs we're taking, clinical trials, and it's just phenomenal. You learn so much.
Yeah.
I would like to do that at Makers if there's not a group.
Yeah, I've seen this, Mark, and you have too, is just that Gail's presence out there in the world is just such a blessing to the people. Gail, you're just remarkable. You're a light shining on the hill, that's for sure. We're running out of time. Let me ask you this. You were under experimental treatment, and then that ended. When did that end?
That ended
like 2017, or you started in 2017?
You started in 2017. Yeah.
So where are you at now? Where are you at now as far as everything goes? Are you going to start a new treatment, or how?
I'm with another cancer doc because the clinical trial ended about a month or two ago.
Mhm.
And so now I'm with another cancer doc, Andy Richardson, and I'm on a couple of other drugs. So we're going to see how.
Yeah.
And
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, yeah. Thank you so much for your. Thank you for your witness. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your bravery. And let's see if we can make this happen. You know, a group just to support those who are going through cancer. A support group at Makers. You know, let's pray about that. Let's make that happen. And yeah. And any. Sorry?
A lot of people that, you know, they have cancer, but they don't want anyone to know. Or, But to me, it's why not?
Yeah.
Any closing comments, Gail? You've been remarkable. Anything else you want to tell us?
Just fight. Just pray and fight. Yeah.
You are my inspiration. I keep telling her that all these years, that Gail is my inspiration for not giving up. And not only not giving up, but showing grace in the middle of all the pressure that she is under. So yeah, we love you. We can't thank you enough for today. This has been great. So
thank you,
I
guys.
love you.
Yeah, we love
I
you.
love Makers and North Park, and I'm just fortunate. I'm just fortunate.
See, I told you, Mark, here she is battling cancer, and she's fortunate. So what a great, what a great, great testimony that's been. All right, we'll say goodbye. God bless you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
We've come back because Diyah is now here. Diyah has just been phenomenal with her mom. Talk to us
Everything.
about.
Yes.
She takes care of my pills. She just does everything for me. She's my handyman. She puts things together. She's the IT person.
Yeah.
She fixes the remotes because some of the stuff on there I don't know how to do. She's just
Diyah, we don't know a fraction of what you've done for your mom, but God knows. And so thank you. You're just an incredible testimony of yourself, of what it is to be a loving daughter. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys for your constant support, you know, and prayers. I wouldn't be able to do it without this community. You know, I love you guys. You guys have been here through the thick of it all, and my appreciation and love knows no bounds.
Thank you. And I think this is what's also important about the, you know, kind of like a support group at Makers, because also the people like you, Diyah, you know, who are carrying a lot on their shoulders as well, the people who are caring, you know, they also need prayer, support, encouragement, love, you know. So bless you, Diyah, for all you are doing, and what an incredible witness you have been too, just in the love and everything that in every way, in practical ways and in every way, to Gail. You've just been phenomenal. So bless you.
I don't know what I would do without her.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without her.
She makes.
I'll say something and she'll say, "Mom, you told me that."
Well, thank you. God bless you both.
All right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Diyah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right.